The world doesn't end with an explosion, it ends with a sudden, unnatural silence. Imagine this: you're standing outside, maybe checking your phone, maybe walking home. The air feels normal, until, without warning, something impossible happens. The earth stops. Not slowly. Not over hours. Instantly. For a fraction of a second, nothing seems different. The ground beneath your feet feels solid. The sky still hangs above you. But then, the world snaps. Everything not anchored to the Earth's crust continues moving at the speed the planet was spinning, over 1,600 kilometers per hour at the equator. Buildings, trees, cars, people, are violently thrown eastward, faster than the speed of sound. The air itself becomes a weapon. A global shockwave tears across the planet as the atmosphere, still in motion, transforms into supersonic winds. Entire cities are flattened in seconds. Skyscrapers twist and collapse like paper. The ground becomes a battlefield of flying debris, turning everything into lethal projectiles. The oceans rise. Water doesn't stop just because the Earth does. Massive walls of water surge across continents, forming megatsunamis hundreds of meters high. Coastlines vanish instantly. Entire countries are swallowed by the sea. The sky turns dark with dust, smoke, and debris. And within minutes, civilization is gone. But why does this happen? To understand this, we need to look at one of the most fundamental forces shaping our world: motion. Right now, as you listen to this, you are moving, incredibly fast, without even realizing it. The Earth spins once every 24 hours, carrying everything on its surface along with it. At the equator, that speed reaches about 1,670 kilometers per hour. And because everything on Earth, the oceans, the atmosphere, you, is already moving at that speed, we don't feel it. This is inertia, the tendency of objects to keep moving unless something stops them. So when the Earth suddenly stops, everything else doesn't. The ground halts, but the world above it keeps going. The result is unimaginable destruction. Now imagine the scale of this catastrophe. Entire continents are reshaped in moments. Megatsunamis sweep inland, carving new coastlines. Forests are ripped from the ground. Mountainsides collapse in massive landslides. The sudden redistribution of mass triggers violent earthquakes across the planet. The atmosphere, still racing around the globe, creates storms beyond anything ever recorded, winds so powerful they strip soil from the surface itself. Cities, once symbols of human achievement, are erased. Glass, steel, and concrete are no match for forces moving at hundreds of meters per second. Landmarks vanish. Infrastructure collapses. Power grids fail instantly, communication systems go silent. The world becomes unrecognizable. But the horror doesn't end there. After the initial chaos, something even more terrifying begins to unfold. Without rotation, the Earth loses its natural cycle of day and night. One side of the planet faces the sun constantly, while the other is plunged into endless darkness. On the sunlit side, temperatures rise relentlessly. Oceans begin to evaporate under constant solar radiation. The land becomes a scorched desert, baked under an unending sky of fire. On the dark side, the opposite happens. Temperatures plummet far below freezing. The atmosphere itself begins to condense. Ice spreads across continents, creating a frozen wasteland where survival becomes nearly impossible. Between these extremes lies a narrow band, a twilight zone, where conditions might still support life. A thin strip circling the planet, forever caught between burning day and frozen night. Here, humanity's last survivors might struggle to endure. But even this fragile refuge is unstable. Without the Earth's rotation, the planet's magnetic field could weaken over time, exposing the surface to harmful solar radiation. Weather patterns would collapse into chaotic systems. The balance that once made life possible would be gone. And yet, life has always been resilient. Deep underground, in the ocean's darkest depths, or within that narrow twilight zone, some forms of life might adapt. Humans, if they survived the initial destruction, could build shelters, develop new technologies, and fight to endure in a world that no longer resembles the one they knew. But survival would come at a cost. A constant battle against extreme temperatures, limited resources, and a hostile environment. A world where every day is a struggle, or where day no longer even exists. In the end, this scenario reveals something profound. Our planet is not just a rock floating in space. It is a perfectly balanced system, where rotation, gravity, atmosphere, and energy work together in delicate harmony. The simple act of spinning, something we never notice, is what keeps our oceans in place, our climate stable, and our lives possible. If that motion were to stop, even for a moment, everything would change. So the next time you look at the sky, remember this: beneath your feet, the Earth is moving at incredible speed, silently carrying you through space. And it is that motion, constant, invisible, and perfectly tuned, that makes life on Earth possible.